Good evening, everybody. This is Melanie Hope, your host with Counterculture-Wise Radio. I'm here with my husband, a Marine, who is going to soon be celebrating, or is actually celebrating, the birthday of the Marines. Hoorah.
Ooh, followed by raw.
Given the recent election and all that has happened, as you can see, we're a little bit excited about it. We have a very special treat for you. It just so happens that we have a person in our family who writes music, and he also happens to be very patriotic. So I believe this song is very, to use the word very again, relevant to everything that has gone down, and for more reasons than one. So, Jim, tell us a little bit about your dad.
My dad, Jack Yurievich, he is from Croatia. He was born back when it was part of Yugoslavia. And he emigrated to the United States legally about 50 years ago. And a little over 50 years ago, he met my mom in 1972. They got married, and shortly thereafter, my sister, God rest her soul, Kat, was born in 73. And over the years, he has become more and more patriotic because, unlike us natural-born Americans, he has come from a land where socialism prevailed and the totalitarianism, the lack of freedom, he really appreciates it, and it's gotten more and more so every year. He is a full-blown Trump supporter, totally MAGA, more MAGA than me.
Way more MAGA than we.
Yeah, or MAGA than we. And he's always been a musical talent, but over the last several years, he has been writing songs, and he sent me some music recently that he had composed and arranged on a computer program or something.
I don't think he even knows how to turn on the computer.
No,
so
I don't.
I'm not sure how he did this. I think this is
No, I
just done
think
on like a Sony keyboard.
This is a thing on his keyboard that
Yeah.
he can record. So
So this is kind of like a demo, sort of.
right, it's not radio quality yet, but we hope you enjoy it. This is the first song on the set he sent me, and it is called, appropriately enough, MAGA, Make America Great Again. Hit it, Melanie.
Hit it, Jack.
And now we know it's a wake-up call. When we need to work things out and not to blame on each other. Face the truth and at times of trouble. Let's stay together on the snow. Do the best we can, and we know how. Open your windows, pull up those blinds. Look for the daylight and love in your heart. We're gonna Don't be afraid. Speak up your mind. Let happiness be the freedom you find. This is the moment we're standing tall, knowing that nothing will make us fall. That all that greed, jealousy and hate, and the political lies must end, we agree. With our strength and faith we proclaim to make America great again, to make America great again, to make America great again, to make America great
And now CCW News presents Holy Crap! This is actually happening! Well, the Landslide Took You Down edition, November 7th, 2024. I'm Chuck U. Farley. The big news... For CCW News, this has been Holy Crap! This is actually happening! I'm Chuck U. Farley. Good night, and thank you, America. Welcome to Counterculture Wise, a Stormcat production, with your hosts Melanie Hope and James Monis. The views expressed on this podcast are those of the hosts, our guests, and the dog, and do not necessarily reflect the views of any of our platforms, our advertisers, or any other dog.
As you listen today, please remember, we are so much more than a podcast. All of our stories we discuss are linked in our show notes on counterculturewise.com. Visit there for commentary, guest photos and links, animations, and fun merchandise.
If you have a story idea or would like to be a guest on our show, contact us via our website. You can also follow us on Twitter, Gab, Instagram, Facebook, and all over social media, where we'll post memes, cat pics, and commentary that gets us booted off on a regular basis.
If you're watching our live show, hit like and join the chat. If you're listening dead, well, you can still hit like, share, subscribe, and comment, but please stop voting Democrat. bet turning on the mics, even with the big sign that says mics on, would make a huge difference in this show.
Oh, my
Hi,
God.
everybody.
Oh, Lordy.
I'm your host, but apparently not a very good, what do they call the person who pokes
Technician.
the buttons? Yeah, that's not me, but that's also me. So there you go. Anyways,
We can't have Tony come all the way from California to handle it, so
wouldn't that be lovely?
it would be lovely.
Wouldn't that be nice if we had Tony? Then he could push the buttons and not be me. We could keep going. Anyways.
Anyway, you probably wonder why we're here tonight.
Yeah, as our intro said, speaking of the dead, it looks like they did not rise this election season. Thank
at all.
goodness.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we still have one of them in office for a few more months. So,
Yeah. It's all good.
yeah. Things are already starting to change, though, for the better. And thank you so much for indulging us. That was the dream of an 80-year-old man to have his voice broadcast. So there you go.
There you go.
Say what you will, but he's a very sweet gentleman who loves his country. And it is
Very much.
his country. And, you know, we love immigrants like him.
Yeah,
Bring
we
them
do.
on. Bring them in.
This also goes out to our friend John LeSueur,
Oh, yes.
our friend Mark Goodman, all of our other friends who've emigrated to this great land of ours, and
Legally.
legally, and have seen the difference. I mean, we're going to get into the vote in a few moments. What was your name again?
Hey, what a great question. Hi, everybody. Well, I did introduce myself at the very, very beginning, if you recall.
Oh, that's true, you did.
Yes. Okay, but you want me to do the host with the mostest and the thing.
Of
the stuff,
course,
and blah,
I
blah,
get-
blah.
I get-
And to my right is my husband, the guy who's whining as we speak.
I'm whining.
A Marine. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Our devil dogs.
My very best friend. And,
Semper Fi. Go ahead.
and, are you done over there? Sweetie, I'm out of regular crayons. Are glitter crayons okay?
Yeah, I
know,
suppose.
I know you like the red ones the best.
They're the ones that taste most like purple.
And you,
Anyway.
you melted all the brown ones to make cocoa. So
Oh, yeah.
my sweet baboo, Mr. James Moniz.
Hi, everybody. I appreciate you all being here and cheering me up. I just swallowed a stack of Scrabble tiles by accident. Now, my next poop could spell disaster.
You must eat Scrabble tiles every day. That's why we don't allow alphabet soup, alphabet cereal.
Well, alphabet cereal isn't made anymore, so it really
Really?
doesn't. No, they canceled it a
I
couple
did not
years
know
ago.
that.
Yeah, which really surprised and shocked me.
What did they do to get canceled?
Stop! They just
They took out all the L's, the G's, the B's, the T's, the Q's.
No, they. I guess it just wasn't selling like it did before.
Kids don't like to spell their food.
Kids don't like to spell.
No, there's that.
Anyway,
I remember I had those magnets that were the alphabet, and you know,
Right,
had multiple
right.
E's because you never had enough E's, and we would leave each other notes that way. That's a lot of the reason why I am such a good speller.
I think it's important.
Spellar. I'm a stellar speller.
Stellar speller. Oh, my sakes.
Okay, well, I alluded to this earlier, but happy birthday to the Marines. How old are we now?
The Marine Corps is 249 years old today.
200?
Yeah. And 365 days from now, in the fine city, my old stomping grounds of Las Vegas.
Wait. How can you be 249 years old when we're having the 250th year of celebration of our country next year?
Because the Marine
Marines
Corps
started-
the Marine Corps was founded on November 10th, 1775,
I did not know
and
that.
July 4th, 1776. If you're a real American, you know what happened that day. So,
I had no idea that the Marine Corps was founded clear back then.
yeah,
I thought you were founded afterwards to protect all the squids.
it's a little more complicated than that.
Okay.
But yeah, next year will be the 250th anniversary, and we're planning to put a crater right in the middle of Las Vegas. So
And we will be there,
We
ladies
will be
and
there,
gentlemen.
and
We
also
may or may
celebrate-
not broadcast from there.
we'll also celebrate Melanie's birthday, which, by the way, was on Thursday.
Yes.
Happy birthday to my beautiful
I
bride.
got the best birthday birthday present ever. 2 of them.
Yeah,
But
well, two.
one was orange and one was green.
Yeah, that was what she really wanted, was mean tweets and a good economy and
affordable
all
groceries
that.
and
Affordable
no
groceries
war and
and fewer wars.
a whole lot of re.
And tomorrow is going to be Veterans Day, so
Yes.
to all of my brothers and sisters who put on the uniform to keep us free and allow people like Melanie and me to do this podcast, to express ourselves,
Enjoy your meal at Applebee's, Chili's, or
or wherever. I think we're going to Golden Corral
Yeah.
tomorrow. I don't know.
well, Texas Roadhouse does offer vouchers, which we will be taking advantage of as well because yum.
Yeah.
So, and it's not, it's not like they lose money because there ain't no Marine that's going to be all sitting there all by himself.
I did it once at Applebee's,
Did you?
Yeah.
That hurts my heart.
but that was once. It was years ago.
Well, before me, so at least 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while back.
Okay. Heart
But-
better now.
Anyway, yeah.
Thank God you found
If you're a
me.
veteran, check out online where they're offering
Yes.
either discounts. Some of them are offering free appetizers or maybe a free drink or something. Some of them are offering free food outright, like Applebee's
And I say
Chili's.
find them all and make a map and just go from one to the other.
Just feed yourself stupid until you can't even move, and then come back a year later and do the same
and
thing.
do the same because God bless America and God
All
bless
right.
every one of the companies that do that for our veterans because our veterans do deserve as much love as we can
But
give them.
it's also, like you said, most people don't go alone,
Right.
and they bring people with them who are going to pay full price and buy a full meal.
Mm-hmm.
They usually give you a kind of somewhat limited meal, but it covers everything. You either get a salad or steak. It's a little teeny weeny steak.
Still,
or,
teeny weenie's better than none.
yeah, burger, chicken, whatever,
Burger chicken.
or pasta plate.
Okay, God, stop it! You're making me hungry now.
I'm sorry.
All I had for lunch was crackers. Criminy.
All right.
Oh, no, actually, I had lasagna.
Well,
Never mind, I take
hey,
that back.
it looks like on Tuesday
we did a thing.
we did a thing, and what is amazing to me is they were warning us.
Oh, it could take, I don't know, a week or two to figure it all out.
And
By
we said,
2 a.m.
no.
on Wednesday,
3. Well, it was 3 my
it
time.
was over.
Yeah. It was
Um,
over. I mean,
and-
we made it too big to rig, guys. We kept saying it, and we
And
did it.
We're going to go into detail, but just for those of you who've been living under a rock, Trump flipped all of the battleground states.
Even Nevada, which I did not expect. Honest to goodness. Yeah.
Never mind. We'll talk about that
Jim
later.
came in and said, pack your bags. But then he remembered that he kind of works for the state of Texas.
I love Waco. I mean, Texas is just kind of the jury's still out because the first few years were so stinky.
Yeah, the
I'm
first
open to
few
the
years
idea
in
of moving
Vegas
back
were
to Las
stinky, too.
Vegas. Well, to be more specific, Nevada, because maybe Boulder City or whatever. I don't not necessarily Vegas, but it depends on a lot
Henderson.
of factors coming into play over the next couple of years. It's not going to be anything we do immediately, but I have
do love our
a good
church,
job.
though.
We love our church. We love our community. There's a few things I don't like about
Fire ants.
fire ants. Fire ants can go right back to where they came from. But he flipped all this. He took all of the battleground states, won the popular vote by an undeniable margin.
Yeah.
I mean, he beat Kamala so bad she's going to need one of those $750 checks. And
Ooh, ouch.
oh, hey,
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
no
that's
abuse,
a loan,
Jim.
so she'll have to pay it back.
Yeah.
How did they spend $1 billion?
spend $1 billion,
And where did
lose, and still be $20 million in debt. This was a woman who wanted to run the country, or did
She
she?
couldn't even handle a basic interview.
Oh, I know.
I
I
mean,
know.
She
We're
ran
gonna
away
get
from
into
Rogan with her tail between her legs.
all of that. We're gonna get into all of that.
Well,
So-
let's start with 5 charts that show how Trump won.
All right. So,
Personally, I just wanted to show the video of him in the dump truck because
well, go ahead. Show them the video of the dump truck. And I'll
if
just,
anything, that's how Trump won.
he trolled him at McDonald's. He trolled them in the garbage truck. He got shot and yelled, "Fight, fight, fight."
Yeah.
Got the best photojournalism photo, one of the top 5 or 6 anyway, in the last 50
Yeah.
years.
I mean, even Putin was like, I just wrestle a bear.
So,
Here you go.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden. I'm in this beautiful plane. I'm enjoying myself. I have a wonderful suit on. And one of my people came in and said, sir, you know, the word garbage is the hottest thing right now. The hottest thing out there. Sir, would you like to drive a garbage truck? And then I actually said, how the hell do you get into this truck? It's way up high. It's a big one. This was a beauty. I said, you didn't have to buy it that big, right? You have to get it that big? So I said, man, if I don't get up there, this is going to be very embarrassing. These stupid people, they'll say, he's cognitively and physically impaired.
And they did.
So look, the first stair is like up here. I'm saying, shit. So I had the adrenaline going and I made it. I made it. And then we drove about 2 feet. I got out, got into the plane. And then I got in the car and I'm driving over here and I have this still on. And I come into the arena and I say, where's my jacket? I want to get out of this thing. And they said, it would be unbelievable if you could wear it on stage. I said, and I said, no way. I got 25,000 people standing outside. I got all these people here. There's no way I'm wearing it on stage. They said, oh, okay, sir. I said, get me my jacket. But if you did, you know, it actually makes you look thinner. I said, ooh. And they got me. I said, I want to wear it on stage. When they said I look thinner, I said, in that case, I'll wear it on stage. I may never wear a blue jacket again. I may go in this. They said that was the word, that was the key. Sir, you look thinner.
And this audience was cheering because they already knew he had won.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Without, you know, this is before election day. They knew.
Yeah, they knew. They
and
knew.
I had a feeling that he was going to win. I didn't think it would be. I mean, it wasn't a complete shellacking, but it was decisive.
It was pretty shellacky.
It was decisive.
Yeah, it was pretty shellacky.
So, let's see.
And comparing the votes total to the previous election and all other elections. In fact, I might even have that. You talk about these charts because there is one chart that's been going around that has been fact checked and is indeed true. And I think it says it all.
Are you talking about Latino voters because
no,
he's
I'm
such
not.
a racist? And
No, I'm not talking about Latino voters. Window's going to pop up. Don't look. There we go.
I'm not looking up.
All right, not you.
Oh.
We have this lovely chart here for you to discuss with all the red bubbles.
Okay, Trump won in 2020, increased share in 2024. Let's see. Counties that flipped. Whole bunch of them. With 95% of votes counted.
So this is from an article titled 5 Charts Show How Trump Won the Election.
Right.
Who is it? Who's it from?
It's from The Economist.
Okay.
I thought there was they're an economic magazine, hence the name, but they lean a little left, but this is pretty accurate. Donald Trump's victory came swiftly and decisively. Before even 6 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, he had won the election. Expect months, if not years, of debate over Democrats' missteps.
Man.
And we're going to go over some very basic, obvious ones in a little bit. But Trump's strengths must be recognized too. 5 charts below show how America's sizable shift away from the Democrats and towards MAGA republicanism. So, start with county level data. With 95% of votes counted, Mr. Trump had increased his vote share in 89% of counties, had increased his vote share in 89% of counties. That was true even in reliably blue states. In New York, for example, he secured 44% of the vote as of November 7th. Let's say that again. The state of New freaking York
Whoa.
He got 44% of the vote.
He almost flipped New York.
Yeah, that would have been a November miracle.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But that was up
I
from
believe in
38%,
miracles.
which is, that 38% isn't that impressive, but flipping it up to 44%,
But 38%
huge.
was already impressive.
Yeah. In New Jersey, he lost to Kamala Harris by just 5 points compared with a 16-point gap against Mr. Biden.
Well, I think I can tell you why Trump won.
Yeah.
I think this pretty much says it all. This is a great comic, by the way. But that's pretty much what happened. I mean, these were all Democrats that supported the Democrat Party, and the minute they stepped off the plantation, they were out.
Even Trump himself was a Democrat at one point.
Even Trump
So, yeah,
himself was a
it
Democrat.
was,
So losing Elon Musk was the stupidest thing they ever did. Oh, this is cut off. Let me see if I can zoom in here. I don't know why it's cut off. Hold on just a second. Let me make it not cut off. Murph, why is it not cut off? Okay, hold on a second.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country.
Okay, well, I'm
We
stinking
don't,
up
but we're
the
gonna
joint.
talk about that in a
I am
minute.
stinking up the joint today. I'm hitting
you're doing fine.
all
You're
the
doing
wrong
fine,
buttons.
sweetheart.
It's flippity doo dying all over the dang place. So,
So,
okay, let's see here. What's going on here? Let's see now. Well, that's what I get for trying to show stuff.
yeah.
That's what I get for trying
Stop
to
doing
show
your
stuff.
job.
I just stink
Stop
at
doing
this.
what
So
you
bad.
do.
This help me. Okay, so the top one was Elon.
Right.
And there you go. I'll never do that again. Okay.
So,
That hurt my little heart. I apologize.
black voters did.
Come for the professionalism. Stay for the
Yeah.
comedy.
The black voters mostly stuck with the Democrats, but there was a sizable increase in black voters for Trump as well. The big shift was Latino voters. They really did.
Weren't they
really
supposed to like hate him because he's all racist
because
and
he's
stuff?
such a racist and wants to curb immigration, illegal immigration.
That jerk.
Yeah, what a schmuck. And as a result, the Latino voters who appreciate the ones who came in legally and didn't want to be lumped together with the criminals voted to have the wall built again. Imagine the wall out of that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I when I'm in line waiting for something and somebody cuts in front of me, I want to take them out. I don't care if they look like me. You don't cut in line. That's rude.
Quite. And let's see, 18 to 29-year-old voters, that amount went up too, especially Latino. Big one.
Wow, that is a big shift.
Isn't that a big shift? Okay. I don't want to read the whole thing because it'll bore people. And, of course, poor misogynist Trump, female voters, and, of course, Joy Reid says it's the white women who
Yeah,
ruined it
us
because
evil white
you
women.
you can easily flip not flip. I keep saying flip. That's not the accurate term. You can take all battleground states and win the popular vote by 4+ million because of white women. That what a moron. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
All
which of
the
the charts?
joys-
Which of these really grabbed you the most? You said there was one in particular.
Well, there's one, but it's not on here. But
Okay.
I failed so badly at screen sharing that I am going to
Just
abstain from doing
Abstain,
so
okay.
again. But it's the one where it shows the total number of popular votes
Oh yeah.
predating Obama.
Right.
And you can see about 65 mil per candidate is the threshold. And then all of a sudden we hit, the cabbage, and he somehow gets 81.
Yeah, and then
It comes back to normal for this one
And
because
I
we
think-
were watching you.
because someone on Morning Dope was saying, "How do 20 million votes? Dang, how did that happen?"
Yeah, so they're trying. It's really funny because Reddit. It's like they're coming to their senses on Reddit because it started out with, well, he stole the vote because 20 million votes are missing, and then you show them that chart, and they're like, well, maybe we did steal it. Yeah. So what do you bet? And we actually did a sketch on this. I can't remember if we played it or not, but what do you bet if they can't kill the man, which they're going to continue trying to do? I mean, he's going to have to wear
And they're
bullet.
still trying the lawfare, although that's starting to wind down for reasons we'll get into
a lot
later.
of those went away because most of them weren't even legal. But what do you bet the last gasp of this dying, clawing animal as it sinks back into the mire and muck that is the
Wow,
DC swamp?
nice analogy.
Thank you. Its last gasping breath full of vinegar and vileness and swamp gas is going to declare, wait a minute, let's just tell the truth about 2020. Trump actually did win, and he was actually the president, so that means he can't serve again. Glug, 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 glug.
Blorp.
What do you bet?
No, I doubt they would resort to that now. I mean, we
You
did.
doubt that? Yeah, I doubted they'd resort to killing him, but
Well, there's
now
that.
it's just a foregone conclusion.
All right. So let's look at the other side of the campaign, shall we? What went wrong
Dum,
with
dum,
with
dum.
the Kamala campaign? You know, what didn't go wrong? Let's put it that way. Once again, there's a long article here, and I'm simply not going to go over the whole thing. It's not worth it to me.
Give us the highlights.
Yeah, the
You
highlights
know, like
are
the ones that Kamala has in her fake hair. That's as
Fake
fake
hair?
as. That's not her real hair. Everybody knows that.
okay. Now, as of this moment, everybody knows that because everybody minus Monas did minus Monas.
Minus Monas. We could do a
Everybody
whole
minus
segment called Minus Monas.
didn't know that. Okay. All right.
Well, now we've added in the Monas.
Biden's administration was, if you look at the economics and you look at the peace versus war situation, was a disaster.
Absolute disaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
We are the laughingstock of the entire globe.
Right. And Harris was was one of the architects of this because Biden
I was in the room after every decision was made.
yeah, whatever. She can chuckle her way out of the building on January 20th, and I don't
If
care.
she chuckled, that
Cackles,
would be jovial.
chuckles, guffaws, chortles, I don't care.
Cackles. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little economy, too.
So,
So?
see, he debates with Trump.
Beating
He
the
basically
drunk.
peed himself
Yeah.
publicly,
Yeah.
which
It was pretty bad.
more than half of America knew was true, but
Yeah.
oh no, when
We
he's
knew-
when
we
he's alone,
knew
he's completely
this back
coherent.
in 2014.
He should not have run the
Yeah.
first time.
No.
He sure as hell shouldn't have run the second time. And the very instant after that debate, he should have left. The problem with Kamala is, firstly, she wasn't all that popular to begin with.
She never even got up to 1%.
Right.
She was the
Right.
most hated vice president. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think even Agnew gets less love than she did.
Yeah. And she should have been, the Democrats were denied, and I think this is grossly unfair. They were denied an opportunity because of Biden
Well,
to,
you get
to
what
have-
you get what you pay for.
well, yeah, okay, true, but there was no primary. He should have dropped out.
yeah, they
and
saved
not-
our democracy by completely bucking the democratic process.
And it's ironic that they're called the Democratic Party. We'll just leave it at that. And then the coup de Gracie. What really soured it, what really stank it up. She was on the
Stank. Stonk.
she appeared on The View. This was after
Is this one that listens? Okay, nothing. Yeah, this is.
this
the
was
one.
after a poll saying that 65% of voters believed 65, okay, not an insignificant amount, believed that Harris would continue Biden's policies. Now, these were disastrous policies by and large. What cost him all respect from me at all, even for the office of president, I don't even give a care anymore, was the Afghanistan withdrawal.
Yeah.
Leaving billions of our equipment for them to take and use against our allies,
Leaving
and by
behind
extension to
our people.
use on us.
There's
and
still to
leave
this
12
day, there's,
precious people behind,
there's
12 of my
to
fellow
this day,
jarheads
there are
behind.
still Americans that are stranded there.
Yeah.
And the press wasn't allowed to use the word stranded. If they used the
allowed.
word stranded, they got admonished immediately.
Aw. Aw.
Yeah.
So-
And that you'd have people like Mika
On
who
Morning
I just-
Schmo?
Yeah. Oh, they weren't stranded. Yeah, they were. And he flat out, and then not being able to stop looking at his watch long enough to get them off
Yeah,
the plane.
well, yeah.
It just showed how little he cared. He just didn't care.
And he cared even less after he walked away calling half of America garbage. And Trump, as you could see by that video we showed a little while back, took major advantage of that. That was an angry old man who had nothing to lose anymore.
Yeah.
And he didn't have much nice to say about Kamala either. You know, he brought her in. The headline said it over and over again. And I'm just parroting you. I know you said a lot of these things in the past.
What?
But what was I saying? See, I threw myself off.
You were riffing on all the things. that
Okay,
he
yeah,
did.
just riffing because she didn't differentiate herself, and
Nothing comes to mind.
yeah, I was just going to say that she goes while all this is going on, while inflation is crazy, and all of this
no,
other
it's
stuff.
not. No.
Yeah,
That's
well,
just you.
Anyway, she's on The View, and The View. Let's look at this. Let's look at the big picture.
They were contorting themselves.
They say they despise Trump. Okay, whatever. They don't. They're virulently anti-Trump on the show. She had the most sympathetic hosts, the most sympathetic audience, the most sympathetic network, because Disney, which owns ABC and ESPN and a couple of other companies, but they produce The View. Okay. The most sympathetic crowd you could possibly imagine in this backdrop of economic stupidity and the wars and all this other stuff that weren't there the day Trump left office. They asked what she would have done differently than President Biden over the past 4 years. Now there are a number of different ways she could have handled this. She could have said she could have taken a minute, because she doesn't get to the point anyway half the time.
Well, what's funny is she went on multiple talk shows after that, and they each asked her that question again, and her answer was even worse.
Yeah. Well, she could have said, I'm very proud of what we've accomplished over the years. We did this, we did that, we did this, okay? But there is a couple of things I would have done differently, or this is what. You don't even have to say that. You could say, this is what I propose to do to set us on a new path. You could have couched it a million different ways. You could have come up with something. You could have lied. You do that anyway. You could have,
Her entire
or
campaign
you
was a
could have
lie.
thrown him under the bus and said he sucked, and this is what I'm going to. That might have won you the presidency.
That
frankly,
would have won her the presidency.
But whatever. She has a sense of loyalty, which was a hell of a time for that to kick in.
But she doesn't either.
That's what I'm saying. It was a fake sense.
Yeah. Well,
So
it
she
wasn't
said-
though. The answer wasn't a sense of loyalty. The answer was she has a room temperature at best IQ. Mm-hmm. So when you said, well, okay, you're running on change, what are you going to do different? There is not a thing that comes to mind. Well, I mean, that's her natural state.
Nothing comes
hey,
to mind. In other
Kamala,
words.
what do you want for dinner? There's not a thing that comes to mind.
So,
hey, Kamala,
yeah.
why do you love cats? There's not a thing that comes to. I mean, that's probably how she answers every question. And then her new patent answer, when she went on Colbert and all the other grifters out there, was, well, I'm not Biden, or I'm a woman, or I'm not Trump, or whatever. It's like.
We know that. It's
and
obvious.
monkeys would clap and cheer over that. Or. It's like, that's the stupidest answer. I mean, duh.
Yeah.
First of all, at one point before Biden lost his mind, he was somewhat in the realm of a 3-digit IQ. I'm kind of giving him more
They're giving him some credit, you know.
But he was known as being stupid his entire career.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, comedians made fun of him being stupid. He's been stupid his entire career.
Right.
He found someone dumber than her, and then she found someone dumber than her.
Oh yeah, we were going to get to her casting a congenital liar. I mean, an absolute could not open his Elmer Fudd face without something coming out that was a total bunch of BS.
I'm surprised that when they were filming the whole "I'm a man," this is a
I'm
gun
a man.
This
I'm
gun
a
that
man.
he had absolutely no idea how to even load. I'm surprised that when it didn't fire, he didn't look down the barrel.
I'm surprised he didn't pull a Dick Cheney and shoot somebody by accident. To be
I don't
honest.
think they gave him real bullets.
No bullets?
I think they gave him blanks.
I know.
Okay, I know. I'm using the wrong terms. I don't think they gave him. Can you put blank shells in a shotgun?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, I think instead of shells, they gave him badminton birdies. He wouldn't know
I
the
don't
difference.
know what the hell he was doing, but okay. So inflation comes up,
Yeah.
and this was largely due to Biden's policies.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying we're going to see what we can do to reduce that inflation, she blames the grocery companies.
Well,
for
what I
price
think is so funny
gouging.
when they say, inflation's terrible, we can't afford anything. She's like, I know. And that's her answer.
And
I mean, she does it in like 60,000 words.
And
She's
the
that
border-
kid who writes the essay with so much fluff
Right.
in it because she has to meet a word count.
Right.
So she could have just said, I know. But she's like, I understand. I come from a middle-class family. No, you don't, honey. You do not come from a middle-class family. Okay, both your Marxist mommy and daddy who, hated capitalism, made an F ton of money off of being professors. You did not come from a middle-class family. You liar. Everybody knows that. And I understand that costs are too high. And here we are. And on a deeper level, for too many people, no matter how hard they work, it feels so hard to be able to just get ahead. And then round and round and round. What was it? I forget who it was, but on Rogan, when Trump was on Rogan, he said, and I can't remember who the person was, and I wish I could quote the person, but he said that she talks in gypsy curses.
I forget who that was. I wish I had the name. And then immigration. She was the border czar, didn't do squat. Moving on.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't the border czar. Why, where'd you get that? Nobody ever called her that. She wasn't that. These are not the videos you're looking for.
These are not the videos I am looking for.
This is not the altered White
This
House
is
website.
not the altered White House website. She was never the border czar. Mm-hmm. Kool-Aid. I need more of the Kool-Aid.
It was Flavor Aid. Stop saying Kool-Aid because you're giving them a bad rep.
I would hate to give Kraft Heinz a bad rep.
Just saying. People who, pretend like they know history and tell you you're stupid for not
Flavor
knowing it.
Aid.
And
Fine,
they don't know
whatever.
the difference between Kool-Aid and Flavor Aid. I'm just
They're
saying.
you wouldn't,
And it was grape,
if
by
I
the way.
poured you a glass of each, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Anyway.
I would be able to tell the difference between the one that had cyanide in it and the one that didn't, which, by the way, tastes really awful, and the kids didn't want to drink it. They forced them to.
Even Trump said this. The presidency was taken away from Joe Biden, and I'm no Joe Biden fan. From a constitutional standpoint, from any standpoint you look at, they took the presidency away, and people are saying he lost after the debate, and he couldn't win.
He's been really working on that, folks.
I'll get there. 34, best number ever, except for 47.
34.
So anyhow, that's among several things. She couldn't answer a question directly, and when a journalist would try to interrupt her to try to get her to get to the point, she goes, "I'm talking, blah blah blah."
I'm talking.
It was a power statement the first time, and there was just a bunch of BS after that.
Kind of wasn't. She just came across as the evil stepmom, box wine drinking, thinks she's better than you. Look, she came across as a mean girl. And she always did from the very beginning. That's why she never had even a 1% approval rating. People didn't like her. And the whole thing about joy and whatnot, completely fabricated. They literally had to bus in supporters to go to her rallies. That's where the $1 billion went. They literally bussed people in.
She owes the U.S. government And she owes her constituents $20 million. She better pay up. That's just stupid.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, literally,
She
the
needs
only
to
reason she
send-
became the candidate was because she could get access to the money that was already raised by Biden. And for the life of me, I can't figure out how Biden was even a candidate. I just blown away. And frankly, I still think Trump's too old, but he's still pretty spry. He's funny as hell. He's going to do a good job. And there's some things that he's been saying already and things that he's going to put in place. And he's got the dream team behind him.
I mean, think about this. He's got Tulsi Gabbard and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., two former dyed-in-the-wool Democrats who have consciences. They have brains. They're articulate,
Experience.
and they know the truth.
And Elon, I mean,
Elon.
probably one of the best geniuses
I mean,
of
and yeah, he's not
our time.
Yeah, and you got Steve Bannon, who's
You got Vivek, who's
Vivek.
brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, this man, and I don't think we put this on what we're going to talk about tonight, but his first appointment was chief of staff, the first female in history, because he's such a misogynist.
Yeah.
Of course, her last name is Wiley, which
Wasn't
cracks
he
me
also
up.
the first president to have female press secretaries, and the first mother in that job, I believe, was Huckabee.
Yeah,
She was the first female and the first.
I dug her. Maybe
Mother.
he'll bring her back. I don't know who he's going
Well,
to
she's
have as
governing,
press
isn't
secretary.
she? She's.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And they're so busy making fun of her wardrobe, they're not paying attention to the fact that she's doing a bang up job. So.
Yeah.
So we had a second article here about how the blame game is happening on why she lost. I think it's pretty clear why she lost.
Well, yeah, it's clear, but Democrats
Oh,
are
the
pointing
tears.
the
Oh,
finger
the
at each other.
crying.
The Kamala people are pointing
Oh,
the
wham,
finger
wham.
at Biden. Biden people are pointing the finger at Kamala. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders burned.
Did he? What did he say?
He was. Let me see if I can find it in a reasonable manner.
Okay.
Probably.
Well, while you're looking for that, Trump came out with a policy today. It was either today or yesterday. I think it was today. That, a few people in JFK and I keep saying JFK, RFK Jr. said should put him on Mount Rushmore. So let's see what he had to say about that. If I can do this and do this right for once. You already saw part of it, so here we go.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple just like dominoes, one by one. They'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis- or disinformation. And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship. Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality, transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination. We should require these platforms to increase their efforts to take down unlawful content such as child exploitation and promoting terrorism, while dramatically curtailing their power to arbitrarily restrict lawful speech. Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called mis- and disinformation. The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian project. If any U.S. university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activities or election interferences in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support for a period of 5 years and maybe more. We should also enact new laws laying out clear criminal penalties for federal bureaucrats who partner with private entities to do an end run around the Constitution and deprive Americans of their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. In other words, deprive them of their vote. And once you lose those elections, and once you lose your borders like we have, you no longer have a country. Furthermore, to confront the problems of major platforms being infiltrated by legions of former deep staters and intelligence officials, there should be a 7-year cooling off period before any employee of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DNI, DHS, or DOD is allowed to take a job at a company possessing vast quantities of U.S. user data. Fifth, the time has finally come for Congress to pass a digital Bill of Rights. This should include a right to digital due process. In other words, government officials should need a court order to take down online content, not send information requests such as the FBI was sending to Twitter. Furthermore, when users of big online platforms have their content or accounts removed, throttled, shadow banned, or otherwise restricted, no matter what name they use, they should have the right to be informed that it's happening, the right to a specific explanation of the reason why, and the right to a timely appeal. In addition, all users over the age of 18 should have the right to opt out of content moderation and curation entirely and receive an unmanipulated stream of information if they so choose. The fight for free speech is a matter of victory or death for America and for the survival of Western civilization itself. When I am president, this whole rotten system of censorship and information control will be ripped out of the system at large. There won't be anything left. By restoring free speech, we'll begin to reclaim our democracy and save our nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
Podcasters as creative types,
This directly affects us.
it directly affects us, and we appreciate his efforts. We appreciate what he's going to
sure
do.
hope he delivers on all of that. The thing is, he's already been elected, so he doesn't have to give a bunch of promises and things that
Right.
aren't going to happen. So now
Right.
this is a real threat.
Yeah.
This is a real threat.
And
They are
to
going to
and
take
to
him out.
Google and Apple and Facebook, all the big tech. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about Twitter so much, but but all the other biggies, they're trembling right now.
Yeah.
YouTube,
Meta.
Meta's not happy.
Yeah.
Google's not happy.
Disney.
Disney's not happy. In fact, that would extend to Paramount, the owner of CBS, Universal, or Comcast, the owner of NBC, and of course Disney owns ABC, as we said before. And Fox News. All of these companies are going to have to be brought to heel. Sorry, I know it sounds mean, but we
Or
need to
just
have.
back off. Just
Yeah.
get off our
Oh, and I
backs.
nearly forgot. Warner Brothers Discovery is CNN's parent company. And notice these are all companies that also own film studios that for the last 4, 5, 6 years have been injecting leftist social commentary into every movie.
Yeah.
Almost every movie.
And that's why so many movies have been failing. People just
Yeah.
don't go anymore
We're tired.
between the prices and the inconvenience and then all this stupid COVID nonsense.
I'd just rather
and,
watch something on my
it's like
computer
why
at home.
why watch a movie that's going to preach to me?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't mind message movies up to a point. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen some of my favorite movies are message movies, like It's a Wonderful Life. That's a message movie.
yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
People don't understand it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Biden ended up pretty much campaigning for
For Trump, yeah.
Trump. I mean, geez, we started with the whole garbage thing where he calls, more than half of the United States garbage. And people, with the apostrophe and everything are trying to change. No, he meant it. I mean, why would they sit there and grasp at straws? Oh, he only meant that one person, or oh, he meant the rhetoric or whatever. Well, he's called us he's called us racist. He's called us insurrectionists. He's called us a threat to democracy. He's called us Hitler. Garbage that's just like whatever,
Well, I mean, certainly.
That's where they draw the line.
As you can see on the screen right now, Trump used it to his advantage.
Yeah, great video.
Yeah.
And-
He's
So that's probably the one. He actually wore a MAGA hat. So
that was dumb as hell.
I thought that was hilarious. But he didn't just wear the MAGA hat. He stole it. He left with it on. He took that guy's hat. And that was a veteran in a wheelchair, and he stole his hat.
Goofball.
Yeah, and Kamala did so bad on last night's debate. Joe Biden just put on a Trump hat. And his remarks on a Republican governor's handling of the hurricane. What did he say? 2 hurricanes, blah, blah, blah. Her campaign. People are in desperate need of support right now and playing political games with this moment. In these crisis situations, these are the height of emergency situations. It's just utterly... Oh, yeah, because Harris... Okay, so Harris tried to get a hold of DeSantis and do something, I guess, about the hurricane, even though that's not her place.
Right.
At all.
Not at all.
Like even a tiny little bit. And DeSantis is like, I don't have time for this. He didn't take a call. So Biden comes out the next day and says, hey, they're all doing great. They're doing a great job.
So he actually called Governor DeSantis
Yeah.
and congratulated
He
him.
said the
and
governor
he's
of
doing a
Florida
good
has been
job.
cooperative. He says he's gotten all that he needs. I talked to him again yesterday and I said, no, you're doing a great job. It's all being done well. We thank you for it. There's a rough start in some places, but every governor from Florida and North Carolina has been fully cooperative and supported. I don't like the cooperative thing. Like they have to bow down to the government. But yeah, DeSantis wasn't having it. And the baby biting. Oh, the baby biting.
Sniffing hair, biting babies. Oh,
He's
my
just creepy. And
He's
he
a
always
creepy old dude.
has been.
God. Nah.
Yeah. He's
So
just
anyway.
always been creepy.
Yeah.
So those were the key ones that they brought up for creepy. I did find the Bernie thing if you wanted to go back to that.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Let's not.
That's not.
He basically just slammed the Democratic Party in general for not,
Yeah.
not pretty much abandoning its working class roots.
Yeah, this says Nancy's a friend of mine, but here's the reality. In the Senate in the last 2 years, we have not even brought forth legislation to raise the minimum wage to a living wage. The minimum wage is not supposed to be a living wage, but whatever. Despite the fact that there's some 20 million people in this country who are working for less than $15 an hour. You mean all those that jump? Never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, he basically slammed him. And then I can't believe Pelosi is going to be serving again.
Blech.
Why do these people keep voting for her? I don't get it.
Because
What does she offer?
I have no idea.
Okay, so let's move forward into what things could look like based on what he just said.
Now,
Looks
this
like
is
a lot more
a,
freedom of speech.
Yeah. This is a pretty comprehensive article from CBS about what could happen in the next term. I'm not going to read the whole thing because there's some bias in there, of course.
Well, I mean, it's from CBS.
But I'm gonna go. But they were pretty complete about it. So let's.
Is it all spoken?
No,
No,
not
okay.
at all.
Did they restrain themselves?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what they got.
He says probably pardon January 6th rioters.
Oh, he better.
He
It'll get
probably
ugly
will,
if
yeah.
he doesn't.
I think
We've been
that
holding
would be,
political prisoners for going on 5 years. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Firing special counsel Jack Smith, which may actually not be necessary because they're winding down those investigations because a sitting president can't be in,
He should still be fired.
Yeah.
Frivolous lawsuits, ridiculous.
So, yeah, that's probably he's probably going to go away no matter what. So, he says he wants to exert more influence on the Federal Reserve. I don't know if that's doable. I don't know that much about the Federal Reserve. That's a kind of a blind spot in what I know about the government. He said he wouldn't reappoint the current one. His term expires in 2026. Powell said, his name is Powell. He won't leave. He would not leave if asked to resign by Trump. I don't think it's going to come to that.
Can you fire him?
He can ask the guy to resign. I don't think he can actually fire him because the Federal Reserve is independent of the. I mean, they're not under the influence of the president.
So how do they get in office?
Like I said, blind spot. But let's see here. They are appointed by a president. Looks like.
Well, if they can be appointed, they can be unappointed.
Okay, I don't know. But he wants to assert more control over the Fed than most presidents have done. It's possible he may appoint more Supreme Court justices because we got a couple of oldies but goodies who are going to probably leave or drop dead.
They won't. They won't. They'll prop them up as best they can because they only have to make it 4 years. I mean, look what they did to RBG. I think it was cruel.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well,
we got
basically the same thing they did to Biden, right?
Yeah. And he does say he's going to deport undocumented migrants en masse, which wouldn't surprise me. That's been the cornerstone of his campaign, really. I'm not going to get into the CBS's opinion of it, but it does look like he said there's not going to be a price tag on it. Now, how far he goes, I think the main important thing is to stop the flow right now.
Yeah.
To put up the wall now, and then over time deal with the people who have crossed illegally. Maybe they're working jobs, they're contributing to the economy, whatever. But, however you feel about that, it's become unbearable. It's not untenable. I won't say unbearable, but when you were extending benefits, federal benefits, not state benefits, I work for the state, it just gets to be too much of a drain on our economy. It's just not continuable. That's not a word. It really can't continue. So,
I'm okay with, they're saying that 80% of undocumented immigrants have been in the country a decade or more, which I do not buy that number at all.
not anymore.
And I'm okay with them staying, and we've given them a pathway to citizenship if we can talk the country of origin into paying us back for supporting them all these years.
Trump is the only president who could possibly even make a dent in that But I don't think it'll happen.
Well, I mean, the other way we could do it is all the the movie stars and whatnot that said that they were going to leave once Trump got into office. We're like, okay, well,
Well, they've
we
got a
need to
couple
have
months.
a fair exchange.
There
You
you
know,
go.
we need to have a fair trade. So off you go. You, and you. You're. I
And
mean,
it also looks like he may roll back climate and clean energy policies.
okay, but are they the dumb ones?
Yeah, they're
Like
they're the
everybody
ones
has
that
to have an electric car, but we can't keep the power on.
right, that kind of thing. He's going to roll that back. I'm totally okay with that. Nobody wants electric cars right now. Not until they're a lot more efficient. Not until
A lot more affordable.
a lot more affordable.
And they're not entirely made in China with a
and
bunch
renewable.
of minerals that we can't get here.
and renewable.
Because all we're doing is supplementing China's economy
Mm-hmm.
and creating things that are toxic.
Right.
They're actually harder on the environment than regular cars. As are windmills. They're harder on the environment than oil and gas.
And of course, he's going to put in Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in charge of health care. Hallelujah. I know, and you can see by the headline or subheadline that,
He is
he's
not a vaccine denier.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're just skipping over
ridiculous.
that. That's stupid.
I'm so sick of them saying he's anti-science. He's the one calling for more science.
Right.
He says we need more testing.
Right.
That's not denying anything. That's saying
It's
that
like
you're...
saying, I love the term vax denier. It's like, I know for a fact, well, since we're talking about the Marine Corps birthday, when I went into boot camp, I was a human pincushion. They shot me full of all kinds of vaccines and everything. They were real vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't mRNA adjusters or whatever they're called. This vax was a joke.
Most of them had been tested, and
yeah.
these
And
weren't.
been around for a long time. These I was not being experimented on, so far as I know.
Well, not
So
at
far as
that
I know.
point.
So
I'm
far
sure
as I know.
other points you were.
Cutting taxes and business regulations, that's just a regular Republican thing, and good. It actually does help the economy overall, not just the rich people. Tariffs on goods
I think every liberal out there, because they've never actually had a real job or run a business,
Mm-hmm.
assumes that a business owner that has employees is just rich, smoking cigars and sitting in his pool.
they're usually
They're usually running such a tight margin, they barely make it. I mean, your job as an employer, and I've seen this firsthand,
Mm-hmm.
working, small businesses, and
Right.
I haven't been an employer unless you count, but
I
your
count. Mm-hmm.
margin is so razor thin. You're just trying to keep the lights on,
Right.
and pay your employees.
It takes years, in most cases, for successful businesses to be successful. I've heard it's like 5 to 7 years. If you can stay afloat that long, you have a good chance of becoming profitable. That's after 5 or 7 years where you're biting your nails because your fresh out of high school employee decides they'd rather go surfing than come to work, and it's just crazy.
Well, I also hate things like this. Overall, Trump's tax cuts would lower federal revenue by $5.8 trillion.
Uh-huh.
Taxes are not revenue. Taxes are theft. Revenue is income that you earn.
Right.
And I'm
So
so
if
sick
we
of them calling
if we had
taxes-
if the Federal Reserve had money that they had and it went up because of investments or anything, that's revenue. Taxes taxing us is not revenue. I mean, yeah, it's money coming in, but when I think of revenue, I think of profits from people's work. I think what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, taxes are extortion. Revenue is income, and it's earned income.
Right. Basically, that's
Profits
that's
is what happens after you
right.
subtract your expenses.
And some massive tariff hikes. Okay, well, that is nothing more than a negotiating tool. And hey, people, it worked, if you might recall. It says, this is very misleading. It says rolling back protections for LGBTQ plus people. All we're talking about is not letting transgenders play against natural gender people. Let's put it this way.
It's mainly aimed at genital mutilation of
Right.
children. And if you're
Right.
for that, you have no say here.
Yeah.
There's not enough disgust. It's not even hate because it goes beyond hatred. It's so repugnant that people would think that that is okay to do to children. That is satanic.
Leaving abortion access to be decided by states. That's all this was about.
And
You know,
why these crazy liberal women want the president of the United States to make that decision for them is beyond me. I thought they wanted bodily autonomy and freedom. You have that.
Yeah.
But if you want the president to make the decision for you, you might get one president that lets you have it. Mm-hmm. Then the next president is like, no, you don't have it. And it could be
Right.
turned on and off like a switch at every election.
I
If
think
in
it's
the
best to leave it
states
to the states.
where it belongs.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in Texas and you think that they're too, strict, then, go a state or two away.
There are organizations right now that supply provisions, supply resources for people in states where abortion is legal to go somewhere else and get an abortion. You actually still have every right you had before. Yeah, it's a little more inconvenient. Oh, well.
And even the states that have really strict rules, women have the power. We're half of the nation. Mm-hmm. So fix it.
Yeah.
If that's what you don't like.
Go to propose abortion rights laws. Propose that these things get voted on, because that's the way it's supposed to work on a state level. Let's see what else we've got here. Israel, good.
Let's just face it. He's going to change the world by stopping these wars.
Yeah.
Ukraine and Russia, over. Russia
that's
never
done.
would have invaded Ukraine if Trump were in office. The Israel
And
thing.
continuing to heap pressure on NATO to do their fair share of
I'm sick of them bullying money out of us.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. And they don't do anything for us. They all talk about how they're, this, that, and the other. Well, the only reason you can be is because you're extorting money from us. So you have a military at your disposal. And then you can use all that money you're not spending, for your frivolous socialist stupidity anyway. What's really funny is we're not the only one who feel that way. There are people all over the world that are thrilled that Trump won. And this lady says it all.
Breaking news here in batshit bonkers Britain, where for many of us Trump-supporting, freedom-loving individuals, it's the best day ever. It couldn't be better here in the UK. We have the BBC in absolute ruins. They were unable to announce Trump victory at 7 a.m. and they said Kamala still had a very narrow margin of a route to victory, even though it was obvious she had no route to victory at all. Channel 4's coverage was shite when it started and then completely collapsed, leaving the channel having to play repeat episode of Friends or something because they had no words to speak about the glorious victory of Trump. And now we have a leader of this country who actively sent over his own teams to try and campaign for Kamala. And we have a foreign secretary who called the new president of the United States of America some of the worst names under the sun. So we can look forward to Trump punishing both of them very hard in the near future. For now, I'm just going to indulge myself in all the tears of all the people who said, for all the weeks that they said, oh, it's on a knife edge, it's on a narrow margin. Well, looks like Trump won the popular vote, looks like he's got the House and the Senate, and it looks like most of the swing states have gone red as well, and Georgia by 200,000 votes. I mean, truly, one of the best days ever. Just want to say thank you to all the patriots over in America, to let you know that patriots in this country are cheering you on as loudly as we possibly can. God bless Donald J. Trump, and God bless the United States of America.
I wish we had more support like that globally. She's funny.
She's great.
Hey, folks, I forgot to say something earlier.
What did you forgot to say?
Drop everything. And if you're enjoying this, or even if you're not, hit like, share, subscribe, spread the news, let folks know about our humble little podcast with the lady who cannot push buttons to save her life tonight. And I'll get better, I promise.
Pushing buttons to save her life tonight. Sugar.
And do all the things. If you'd like to support our podcast, since we are completely demonetized everywhere we go, and YouTube shadow bans the daylights out of us to the point where we've pretty much lost our channel, head on over to counterculturewithaz.com, where not only can you find all of the links archived, of course, as Mr. Sticks would say, on our website. So if you have any questions about the things we've been reporting or talking about, you can find them all there, as well as other fun things like our entire Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening channel, which is going to be a lot more fun now because we'll be able to talk about the more frivolous things.
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy the next few years of this show, I think,
Yeah.
more than before.
I think
because...
Chuck is too, because I think he was at the verge of...
Did you hear the relief in his voice at the beginning of the show?
Thank you, America. Yeah.
He'd have to say God help us because
fun.
God helped
It'll
us,
be
but
fun.
anyway.
It'll be fun. I think we're in for a wild ride, and I'm here for it. So
Yeah,
all I ask is, Father God, you lift up our leaders, you protect them all.
All of them.
Every last one of them. And this dream team that has come together, this what did they used to say, this ragtag fugitive band of
Yeah.
this motley crew that we've put together. Bless
But
each
this
and every
band
one of
on
them.
the run.
Yeah. I think we just mixed in Battlestar Galactica and punk and everything else you can imagine. But get it all in there. And, I hope they're all sincere. And I pray that we are, as Scott Adams would say, at the beginning of the golden age. And I know the end times are coming, blah, blah, blah. I am so selfish. I want to die before that happens. So let's just have a little bit of golden age before, all the excrement hits the
The swirly thingy.
thingy. Yeah.
All right. So what else happened on election night?
We could say that the election went nuclear and we would not be exaggerating. We literally launched a nuke on election night. I'm not exactly sure how to take this. The United States launched a nuclear missile on the night of the presidential election in a chilling show of strength. Well, we kind of probably need to remind them that we got these things, but I don't like the idea of them being out there. The
Like
U.S. Air
Dance
Force
Leader used
fired
to
an
say.
unarmed Minuteman, I hope it was unarmed, 3 intercontinental ballistic missile, an ICBM, from Vandenberg Space Force Base. Ooh, Space Force Base. I didn't even know that we actually had Space Force bases now.
Well, if you have a Space Force, you got to
I
put
know,
them
but I
somewhere.
thought it was kind of like unofficial, and I thought they were going to
No, it's
disband it
official and
because he
for
didn't
real.
like it. Okay.
No, it's real.
Yeah, because everybody made fun of it. The ICBM's re-entry vehicle traveled approximately 4,200 miles to the U.S. Army Space and Missile Defense Command's Ronald Reagan Ballistic Missile Defense Test Site, located within the Republic of the Marshall Islands at the Kwajalein Atoll.
Some
Kaboom, it
atoll that
says.
starts with K.
These tests are demonstrative of what Stryker airmen bring to the fight if called by the President, General Thomas A. Bouzier, Commander, Air Force and Global Strike Commander. With the acronyms. An airborne launch validates survivability of our ICBMs, which serve as a strategic backstop for our nation's defense and defense of the allies and partners.
Yeah,
I'm
what
pretty
he
sure
said.
that's how he talks. The commander dude, it's AFGSC. It's the commander dude.
Air Force Global Satellite Command.
Statement said, this test launch is a part of routine and periodic activities intended to demonstrate that the United States nuclear deterrent is safe, secure, reliable, and effective to deter 21st century threats and reassure our allies. Such tests have occurred over 300 times before, and this test is not the result of current world events. Okay, if you say so. The test launch, just kind of weird timing. The test launch was described as a culmination of months of preparation that involved multiple government partners. Anyways, it goes on. This has nothing to do with the election. I swear, pinky swear. Okay. Sure it didn't. Yep. Well, we are going to wrap up with something that is completely unrelated to what we've been talking about.
But this was such a ubiquitous part of our culture and still is.
Yeah. So tell me if you recognize this voice.
Hey, Elwood, I just got an email.
You've got mail.
So that is Elwood Edwards.
And he was also famous for saying welcome.
Just remember the good old days of
I remember this
Birdie,
America Online, as it was called when it first came out.
Remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was the voice of America Online. Mm-hmm. And he
He
died
seemed like a
at the
pretty
age of
happy
74.
guy.
Yeah. Well, let's see. He said it would start off just as a test, just to see if it would catch on. Mr. Edwards said in an interview in 2016, at one point they said my voice was heard more than 35 million times a day.
So he was 74.
Yeah. In the 1980s, his wife, Karen Edwards, worked as a customer service rep for Quantum Computer Services, which eventually became AOL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She heard that the company was thinking of adding a voiceover to its software, and in 1989, she suggested her husband for the narration. He scribbled the phrases, welcome, you've got mail, files done, and goodbye on a piece of paper, and recorded them into a cassette deck in his living room.
Oh, my.
My.
That's so much better than our former platform. Thank you
The
for being
tone
on
Mr.
Drunk
Edward-
Talk Radio. Piss off.
This is my favorite part. The tone Mr. Edwards struck was a hit, and he was paid $200 for his recordings.
What? That's it? I know how he feels.
200 measly bucks. But, I mean, it even was the title of a movie, a great, funny movie with
Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks, and it's right in front of me.
Good old,
Meg
what's her
Ryan.
name? Meg Ryan, yeah.
Meg Ryan, and so he also was asked to lend his voice to an episode of The Simpsons as a virtual doctor giving a diagnosis.
You've got leprosy. Oh, my. That's a clickable link. I want to see if that comes up as a video. I don't know if it'll play or not.
My skin! My beautiful skin!
I don't know if they can hear that. Probably not.
Yeah.
Lisa, help!
Okay, well, we're going to get DMCA'd off the
Yeah.
internet for that. Anyways,
Yeah,
we'll
that
put
would
the
matter.
link to that one in there. Well, it's in there.
So he actually worked at WKYC Studios in Cleveland, where he did a lot of different stuff for their news department,
Graphics guru.
graphics and things.
Well, rest in peace, sir. Your voice is iconic and will forever be part of our lives, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He got a little pudgier in his old age, but he aged pretty good. He had pretty much the same hairdo, minus a few strands. Always had the mustache and looked like he was a happy dude. So rest in peace. Well, let's just... I mean, basically the entire podcast tonight is dedicated to things, but there's a few things we might want to bring in now and then, so... now, see, that's why we can't have nice things. And, I mean, if we're talking about Democrats gone wild, I mean, here's a great example of that going on. Apparently, South Carolina, there's a whole bunch of monkeys out there, Jim, so I'll just let you...
You'll let me.
I'll let you. It's all you. It's you.
All right.
I'll do all the time.
Dozens of macaque monkeys are on the loose in a small South Carolina town after escaping from a medical research facility.
Yipe.
Residents in Yamasi, a town of 1,000 less than 50 miles west of Charleston, have been told to lock their doors and windows to prevent the primates from entering their homes.
So 4% of the population of that town is monkeys.
Isn't that scary? The animals escaped at 1 p.m. on Wednesday from the Alpha Genesis lab that tests experimental drugs and vaccines for various infectious diseases and disorders.
Of course they
So
do.
they have a bunch of drugged up monkeys that can attack you, bite you, and
no, keep
and
reading. These ones
darn
hadn't been
it,
used yet. They weren't old
darn
enough.
it. Police have deployed traps and thermal cameras around the town in an attempt to catch the monkey, but none have been captured as of 11 a.m. this morning, with efforts being hampered by rain.
And I checked, none have been caught yet.
Officers have also said there is no health risk to the public. It comes after 3 primates escaped from a vehicle carrying to the lab in 2022 following a road accident.
You're not supposed to read that part. That's why I gave you a whole different article to read. You read a different article than what I have.
What do you have?
Okay, a wooded area currently attempting, blah, blah. Okay, authorities say the primates were very young females weighing approximately 6 to 7 pounds and had never been used for testing due to their age.
Oh,
so that
why
is
did that article come up instead? I'm sorry.
I don't know, because you're pressing the wrong buttons, Jimmy.
Sorry.
Marines. He should have eaten the green crayons.
Nah.
Residents, of course, are strongly advised to keep doors and windows secured. If you spot one of them, please contact 911. This is cute. The CEO of Alpha Genesis told CBS News on Friday that while they have not captured any of the animals, the monkeys are staying close to the facility and are being goofy monkeys, jumping back and forth, playing with each other. It's kind of like a playground situation here, he said. I would think that if they're staying relatively close, they could lure them back with food. Just a whole bunch of bananas.
Mm-hmm.
Is the banana thing? Yeah, the banana thing, squirrel. He said the company has put out baited traps, but the monkeys are not going inside them yet. The monkeys are not smarting you. They're jumping down and taking the food and then jumping back up on the fence and the tree line. He added, they're watching us the same way we're watching them. Well, how are they able to get the food and then jumping back in the tree line? Don't leave the food where they can get it and not get trapped. Do I have to go in there and teach them how to catch monkeys? You just put it in a coconut, and then when they grab it with their fist, they can't get it out, and now they're trapped forever. Everybody knows that. Did you just fall out of a coconut tree? Okay. See, we circled back. We got them very close. This is what we want to see. On Thursday, they told a CBS News reporter that a caretaker inadvertently failed to secure a door at an enclosure. Apparently, this is a new person. And I think it's a person that probably doesn't have a job anymore.
Probably, or shouldn't if they do.
Yeah, you don't put somebody in charge of the monkey cage if they didn't know how to close the monkey cage. So as of my birthday, these guys are running around, having a good time. You can read about what kind of monkeys, the rhesus monkeys, how they act, things like that. And then, of course, this is not the first time these guys have escaped. So looks like they need to train their new folks a little bit better.
They should put the monkeys in charge.
I'm kind of getting the impression that the monkeys are in charge, but it could just be me.
Here we come.
Okay, speaking of large and in charge.
Oh, boy.
We've had a lot of warnings from celebritards that really think... I just made that up. Can I use that?
It's been used before.
But fudge. I thought I just made that up. I was so proud of myself.
Yeah, it's been done.
Okay.
That's okay.
I'm sure it's derogatory.
Basically, here's the story.
Here's he.
I'm not going to use he. I'm not going to use they. I'm going to use she. I'm going to use Dylan.
It's not a she.
I'm just saying Dylan. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney has issued a stern warning to Donald Trump. Ooh.
I'm so scared.
Following the Republicans' election win. Mulvaney took to TikTok Wednesday to say, "My heart is with trans kids and their families after the world found out that Trump would regain the White House."
There's no such thing as a trans kid.
The social media personality showed off a white t-shirt behind a blue robe that read, "Don't mess with trans kids."
I am not okay with this, just so we're clear.
By the way,
he should be sued.
Yeah, this is a registered trademark of the state of Texas for their anti-waste campaign.
Well, it looks like they didn't clean it up as well as they should have.
Yeah, definitely.
And why is he's still in Machu Picchu, right? So why is there a Texas?
I'm not on Dylan watch. I really don't know where the hell Dylan is.
Sorry for the flag off, so I couldn't get the pictures on the
Anyway.
Yeah. I'm so sick of this guy.
Anyway, Trump has remained outspoken about his stance on the transgender society in America as he unveiled his dramatic plan during an all-female Fox News town hall on the Faulkner Focus just weeks before he's reelected. When asked what he would do about the transgender issue in women's sports, Trump said he plans to just ban it. It's such an easy question. He says he smiled. Everybody in the room, and you know that answer, we're not going to let it happen. So, great. Yeah, they talked about
Why do
Blair.
they make him look so orange? You know, he has got to stop with the bronzing. Seriously. It's not doing him any favors.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're done with the nonsense coming up very soon.
And it's ridiculous. I don't even understand why women allow it and put up with it and want it to continue.
And it continues about Dylan's fluff with the Bud Light, a beer which still hasn't crossed my lips ever since then. Not that it crossed my lips all that often to begin with. It ain't exactly what I've been imbibing today, which is Shiner beer, a great beer made in the great state of Texas. And
we do love our Texas beer. It has
Yeah.
Texas all over it too.
Yeah.
Remember when we first moved here? You got like one of each. And
yeah, we went. Yeah,
we did a photo shoot.
First beer I had in Texas was Lone Star. We went to a bar. We were just traveling around. And we wound up in this lovely small town with a mission and all this stuff. And I don't even remember the name of it right now. But I want to go back and just visit for a weekend sometime because I was so enthralled by it. But we sat in there. We had a Lone Star. And, you know, it's just so nice. It's so nice. So when I say, you know, it's possible we're going back to Nevada, it might happen, it might not. And like I said before, Texas, I have a mixed review of Texas because of some awful things that happened to us early on.
It wasn't Texas's fault, technically.
Well,
it was kind of our fault.
Well, yeah, we kind of messed up, but
Yeah.
so did Texas. Dog fetch it.
Yeah. I
So
mean, the last debacle we went through was, I don't know if that's Texas or so much as it was just our evil slumlords, but...
yeah, well, we're not going to talk about those evil slumlords.
No, we're not, because
perfectly
we have
good evil
more,
slumlords now.
We
We're
have
gonna move
more
forward.
abnormal things to talk about. Check this out.
This is not Bubba Waters. It is no longer 2020. But this is your new abnormal.
I'm done crying. My sadness is over. My anger has set in. I am a very petty person, and I am very proud of that. Love it about myself, actually. And so, I say this in the most disrespectful way possible. I don't care if you are my family. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care if we've been friends our entire lives. You can literally go fuck yourself if you voted for Donald Trump. If you are so sad about your groceries being expensive, get a better fucking paying job. Do better in life. Get a fucking education. Do something. Because you are fucking stupid. And I hope you go jump off of a fucking bridge.
Harvard professors are canceling classes because students are sad about the results. Washington University at St. Louis providing free therapy. The dean of Oklahoma reminding students to drink water and take intentional breaths. Georgetown University giving out milk and cookies, coloring books, and Legos in a self-care suite.
这是真的一场
Vagina.
Oh.
Yeah, let's try with the mics on again. See, I'm still trying.
Yeah.
And I even have a sign here. Okay.
And so the foul-mouthed clown.
And we're not talking about the orange
We're not
one.
talking about the orange guy this time. We're talking about This guy was a professor?
I'm not 100% sure because they keep saying staffer, so I think they're trying to avoid letting us know.
Oh, okay. Well,
So I'm not
yeah.
100% sure.
Very vulgar. We don't usually
Yeah.
use that word on our show anymore.
No, we don't.
But this guy was unhinged. He reminds me a lot of a guy I used to work with. So for a moment, I actually thought it might be him, but it's not.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
You worked with a guy like that. Ugh.
I said he reminded me physically. I'm not saying he would. He's the guy in question.
Don't say who it is. Yeah,
I'm not
don't
gonna say
do
who
that.
it is.
Yeah,
Just
don't.
a guy I worked with years ago.
Don't go there.
I
No,
love
no.
him dearly,
Yeah.
but yeah, just kind of looked like him.
Well, just in case you thought that the TDS couldn't get any worse than it has.
It has been institutionalized, folks.
Yeah, this is
Check
insane.
this out.
Now, I thought this was fake news. I'm going to be honest. But I found multiple sources, and then it turns out I got in a little bit of trouble for this. This literally happened. FEMA official ordered relief workers to skip houses with Trump signs. This comes from a whistleblower. A federal disaster relief official ordered workers to bypass the homes of Trump supporters as they surveyed damage caused by Hurricane Milton in Florida. According to internal correspondence obtained by the Daily Wire, who's been doing really good work, and confirmed by multiple federal employees. So this isn't just an unknown whistleblower, the sources close to the BS crap that I hope is going to end. I'm so sick of anytime you hear anonymous source or sources familiar with, that means they're making it up. They're lying. They're just lying. A FEMA supervisor told workers in a message to avoid homes advertising Trump as they canvassed Lake Placid, Florida, to identify residents who could qualify for federal aid. These are the internal messages that literally happened. Best practices: not one goes anywhere alone. Avoid homes advertising Trump. Practice de-escalation measurements. Communicate, follow rules. Bring a towel. Always bring a towel. Frequent breaks. Drink water. Avoid high salt diets and coffee. You'd be out.
Avoid
Coconut
coffee.
water is
Forget
fast way
that
to
noise.
replenish. Literally, second bullet point. Let's see. Trump sign no entry per leadership. So the government employee told the Daily Wire that at least 20 homes with Trump signs or flags were skipped from the end of October into November due to the guidance, meaning they were not given the opportunity to qualify for FEMA assistance. Images shared with the Daily Wire showed that houses were skipped by the workers who wrote in the government system messages such as Trump sign no entry per leadership. I think there was a picture of one of those. Yeah, here it is. Did you make contact? No. What was the outcome? Not able to access property. And in the notes, Trump sign no contact per leadership. How
Despicable.
good word.
Absolutely despicable. I don't care who you vote for in a situation like that. Neither did this whistleblower, apparently.
If they had damaged or lost power for over 36 hours, it was my duty to inform them of benefits to which they are entitled, one team member wrote in a complaint filed to DHS about the guidance. Well, good news. Good news, everyone.
Yay!
He was removed. Thank God.
Fired and sued eventually.
Yeah, I hope he gets sued. So the FEMA official who instructed Hurricane Milton relief workers to skip homes with Trump signs has been removed from, her role.
Well, her name is Marnie. I don't know very many Marnies.
I didn't read the Marnie. They just said an official. Yeah. The emotional twat who could not control herself long enough to be a decent human being has been removed from her role that I bet you $1 billion she didn't earn. And I'm sorry if I sound misogynistic, sue me. I've earned every position I've been in, and I would never treat a fellow human being like this, even if they did vote for Obama or cackles McKeel's up. A FEMA spokesperson tells Fox News Florida Governor DeSantis is investigating the federal agency over the controversy. The FEMA official who's not been named by the agency, how'd you know her name?
Marnie Washington. It was in the other article.
It was?
It was.
It was?
Yes.
What did you say? Oops, wrong article. Marnie Washington. Was there a picture of her?
No.
Oh. The female official who has not been named by the agency.
Except it's Marnie Washington.
But how do you know it? It wasn't in the last article. And if it says that she wasn't named here, but she was let go, how was she named in the previous article? I'm so confused.
It matters not.
It still says
the important
official.
Thing is,
okay, I hope I hope you're not calling out. Let's see. The supervisor Marnie relayed this message both verbally in the group chat. What is with the apostrophe?
she's a modern woman. Told you. I wasn't making it up.
Mm-hmm. I knew it. I could tell by the name. Yes. Oh, don't you be going down. Okay, so I'm going to be all racist and shit, but did we not know?
We knew.
Did we not know?
I wasn't going to say
You don't need extra apostrophes, you dumb broad. You racist piece of garbage. How do you like it? All right.
You've got fired.
Nice.
Thank you.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling it was a racist DEI hire, and I was right, and I didn't even know the broad's name. Okay. Deeply disturbed, employees' actions, blah, blah, blah. Unclear if they were fired. Okay, so they haven't been fired. But they can't fire her because she's a DEI hire, and she can sue them for being racist because she was being racist. Just what an evil, vile, nasty thing to do.
I know.
I mean, I hope when she goes home and she looks at her fake eyelash, fake makeup, fake hair, fake fingernail, face in the mirror, she sees the excrement that she is. And with that rant, your turn. The babies are taking unto themselves.
Kind of covered this in the...
We kind of did.
In the opening to this segment.
Yeah, so if you don't want to go over it more.
These
are kind of hilarious, though. They kind of are.
I'm going to go ahead and read it. Reports that several universities across the nation canceled classes and provided safe spaces for students to recover from the presidential
Look at this
election.
montage. They're
prompted
crying and
prompted a
holding
wave
each
of
other.
criticism
So
that these
sad.
schools are not preparing students for the real world.
No.
Well, that's very true. They're not.
No, they're not.
Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. drew mockery on social media after news broke the college invited students to a darn it.
Are you going to live?
A self-care suite on Wednesday, so far, to recover from the stress of the Okay, enough.
Okay, do you want me to smack you?
Please, no, I want you to just take over.
Okay, anyways. These poor little babies, they couldn't handle it, so they need safe spaces and cuddles with, oh, God, really? Tacoma, Washington, well, of course, UPS. They are such a garbage university. They announced a full week of self-care for stressed students. We are coddling these infants into oblivion.
UPS is the University of Puget Sound, not the University of Parcel Services, just so we're clear.
Well, they're not as bad as Evergreen, but they're up there. Baby goats and other therapy animals were brought on campus to help lessen election-related anxiety. Can you, even just imagine being this soft? And they pretend like being called a snowflake isn't an insult. No, honey, it really, really is. Seinfeld.
I don't know what Seinfeld
Oh, yeah, he
has to do with it.
accused the institution of coddling the students. Yeah, Seinfeld's finally speaking out. But it's gotten to the point where not only are these infants going to come out in debt, unable to own homes, unable to fix the economy, unable to do anything for society at all, but they're going to be total burdens on society because they can't even handle an election. Buck up, baby cakes. Buck up. Come on, this is ridiculous. And the fact that the institutions are I mean, look at this one. Professors, this is ridiculous. Oh my, I'm in the wrong place now. Not that one, not that one, not that one. I am pressing buttons incorrectly. Kill me now.
I'm a natural born button presser.
Terrible at this tonight. I don't know what's wrong. Well, it is like a gajillion degrees in here.
Yeah, it's really warm in here, and
yeah,
I won't go into much.
It's only 60 outside, but it's about 95 in here.
Feels like
Must
it.
be all the hot air. Maybe if you open the door, some cool air could get in here.
And then so would the dog, and
well,
so would
as long as they're cool. Professors at Biden's alma mater, so this is where Biden supposedly went, in order to help them cope, some Syracuse professors canceled classes for the entire week. They're holding therapy sessions. One professor's class met outside to make friendship bracelets and other crafts. This is what you do with 6-year-olds after they saw the Space Shuttle Challenger blow up in front of them. Thank you, Auburn.
By that, she means the city of Auburn, Washington, not Auburn University in Alabama.
Right, who's probably also coddling their children.
Not as likely, but possible.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. Anyways, if you want to read about this, on the day after the election, my honors seminar continued consideration of deficit financing on municipalities, an understanding of which might prove important in the student's career success in the real world. That's what you do. Yeah, so that's what you do. You keep going. You get over yourself and, keep on keeping on. Don't coddle just stop coddling the babies. You know what? I think we need some Florida Man.
Ever had a day you felt so stupid, lacking a brain? Well, here's a guy who'll make you feel like a genius and maybe even sane.
All the world loves to laugh at losers as often as they can.
Here comes another chance to chuckle. Here comes the Florida Man.
I'm still annoyed with that flat note I hit.
Which note? There were so many notes in that song.
Here comes the Florida Man. I went, here comes the... Never mind. I'm so self-critical.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't listen to yourself then, because that's what you're stuck with, my dear. Okay, we have spent the entire episode basically talking about the Florida Man. So let's just go ahead and share a few that are, I guess, funny in kind of a saddish, weirdish way that are relative to the hurricane that just hit, and then end on a high note, getting back to our military Veterans Day and the service. So let's start with this one, Jim. I believe it's your turn.
I'll just do it.
All right, off you go.
A man was arrested Wednesday for threatening utility workers who were restoring power in Hillsborough County, Florida, following mass outages caused by Hurricane Milton.
Why?
According to officials.
Why? Of all the people, he does not look...
He's not well.
Scary, but he doesn't look well. Okay,
he looks
so
like a guy
what was he
used to know,
doing?
too.
I mean, they're trying to help people, you dum-dum.
Crews were working on a road repair when the man allegedly verbally threatened them and drove his vehicle toward them in an intimidating manner. Vroom, vroom.
How do you drive intimidatingly?
Well, you know.
I don't know. Fly casual. All right.
Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office has identified the suspect as 57-year-old Kenneth Ray Velasco. When the incident occurred, a power line crew was working on a road that was closed for repairs, creating a traffic delay. The man was in his vehicle and grew impatient.
They're trying to help people get their power on.
It wasn't just that he suddenly decided to be ticked off.
But they were trying to get the power on, dum-dum.
He backed into a utility pole and fence, causing an estimated $1,000 in damage.
You could like flick them with your fingernail by accident and it'd be like a minimum $1,000 damage.
According to official reports, and attempted to flee the scene. When the linemen tried to prevent him from leaving, he drove toward them in a deliberate manner that caused them to jump out of the way and also threatened to shoot them, officials said.
Yeah, the worst part was when he came toward him singing, "I'm a lineman for the county."
It's one of my favorite songs. Don't make fun.
Oh, sorry. Well, I guess it's better than the wreck of the Ella Fitzgerald.
Yeah. This guy's a wreck of an Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Linemen have been working tirelessly to restore power after the storm. That the jingle bells behind. It's for Christmas. It's a Christmas.
Yeah, jingle bells.
As Sheriff Chad Chronister. Well, that's a great name. Chad Chronister. I'll use that in my next novel.
Chad Chronister.
For this person to threaten their life. I'm sorry, that's how somebody like that would threaten their lives and deliberately endanger them, all because of a traffic delay, shows a disturbing lack of regard for the safety of others and the critical work being done.
Slam your car into the
Velasco was pulled over in a traffic stop and charged with aggravated assault and felony criminal mischief. Yay!
Yay,
For
criminal
vandalism
mischief!
of property, according to the sheriff's office. He was arrested without incident. We're grateful no one was seriously hurt, and the suspect will face the full extent of the law for his egregious crimes, the sheriff said.
Nobody's above the law.
Yeah, some people are. As of Wednesday evening, nearly 20,000 customers in Hillsborough County are without power.
This is a little bit older, so I'm sure they have their power by now.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure.
All right.
I
Well,
would
this
hope.
guy's a piece of work as well. So let's see what this guy had going on here. He cozied up to a generator that was powering a traffic light and said, "Mine." Because why
Really?
not? Sun
Really?
City, Florida, where else, was arrested on Sunday after allegedly trying to steal a generator being used to power a traffic light that was likely damaged during Hurricane Milton.
Something about hurricanes, just bring out the dope in people.
Well, I mean, like they were saying up in the mountains, these people have nothing. Their houses have been demolished and already they're being looted, and mostly by the government. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office said that 40-year-old Soil Zapata Dye, why would you name him after shoes? Shoe dye, was charged with third-degree grand theft. Ooh, oh, you are in trouble. During the state of an emergency, does that make the penalty worse? The sheriff's office reported that Teco Energy workers provided photos of a man they stopped from stealing a generator placed on the corner of Sun City Center Boulevard. What, you didn't have big fat "Do Not Steal" signs on it?
Shouldn't have to.
I know. Along with photos, the workers provided the sheriff's office with the man's license plate. Deputies tracked down the address associated with the license plate and responded to the home with a woof.
Woof, I'll say woof.
Woof, bow, wow. Video footage captured deputies and posted to Facebook by the sheriff's office shows deputies arriving at the home and asking to speak with Zapata. At first, the man wanted for questioning refused to come out because, as he said, he was fixing dinner. "I'm sorry, officers. I'm frying chicken. If you could just bugger off, that would be swell." The deputies then approached him at the door of his home and placed him in handcuffs, telling Zapata he was just being detained. I've been told that before. But I didn't get arrested. One of the deputies told Zapata some people might have witnessed him doing some things he shouldn't have ought to done. I mean, it is just sitting there being all not owned by anybody. I mean, I can kind of see where he would come from there. There's a generator on 674 that I saw that had no lock on it, and it had no name on it, so I thought someone set it out. That's something people do. They set it out and keep it running, attached to the traffic lights, because that's why you can go curb shopping.
Mm-hmm.
He was then arrested, placed inside a squad car. He's been charged with third-degree grand theft during a state of emergency. They already said that. I mean, I kind of see to get where he's coming from, because, I mean, we go dumpster diving. You see some sitting out there. It's like, yeah, okay, they're putting it out there,
But it's
too.
not there's no dumpster nearby. It's
I know.
obviously
I'm
clearly
trying.
being used.
I'm reaching. What can I say? All right. Well, let's wrap this up with an update. And I looked to see if there were more recent updates, and there are none. So if we're going to do Florida Man, we got to talk about Sergeant Dan. How did he weather the storm? What happened to him? Oh, I know you want to know. Hit it, Jim.
Joseph Malinowski, the Florida man known as Lieutenant Dan, the Florida Man, has been arrested in Tampa. He gained social media fame with TikTok posts as he rode out 2 recent hurricanes aboard his small sailboat. We talked about that during the hurricane. What is about Hillsborough? Is all this crap in Hillsborough today?
It's a big county. It's a big county. That's where the hurricane hit.
Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office arrest records show Malinowski, 54, was arrested Friday for trespassing and failure to appear in court on previous charges of operating an unregistered vehicle and having no valid driver's license.
Really? So the boat guy got taken out by a driver's license?
Yep. Malinowski became social media famous in the days before Hurricane Milton after rejecting officials' pleas to seek shelter. He instead remained in his boat while the Category 3 storm's powerful winds battered Florida's Gulf Coast.
I know. California was wishful thinking.
Yeah. Malinowski was unfazed, describing the experience as pretty mellow, man, even though his boat was repeatedly slammed against the harbor wall during the worst of the storm. "I ain't scared of nothing," Malinowski told CBS News' Christian Benavides after the storm. As the storm intensified, Malinowski recounted how the wind picked up, causing his boat to crash against the wall in the harbor. To prevent further damage, he cut his anchor line, sacrificing a $250 anchor now resting on the bay floor.
Why didn't he just pull it up?
Didn't have time. And besides, he wanted to lose weight, so I don't know. Ask him. I was getting bashed against this wall, so I went out and cut my anchor line to get away from it, he said. There we go. Despite the danger, Malinowski remained calm, crediting his composure to his faith. God told me to come here, he said, explained that 5 years ago. He left Colorado and moved to California. He was born in the
keep saying
summer.
California. He moved to Florida.
Okay. I've been in Florida for
Thank
2
you.
years. 5 years, stuck on the East Coast, Malinowski said. I found this boat for $1,200. I bought it. I come to Tampa, and guess what? Can't flood. Not today, not yesterday. Malinowski, whose nickname comes from a character in the movie Forrest Gump, who rides out a hurricane in a boat, remained jailed Saturday, according to online jail records. Court records do not list an attorney who could speak on his behalf. On Friday, the actor who played Lieutenant Dan in the 1994 film, well, we're about to get to that.
Yeah.
I'm skipping that
gonna
part.
well, let's just go ahead. So the real Lieutenant Dan, Gary Sinise, was actually out there helping folks. And he is famously known for the Sinise Foundation, which helps our servicemen and women. So this guy
True
is
patriot and a
true
really good
patriot.
actor.
Really good actor. So coming up, he was out there feeding servicemen and women and emergency workers who are getting ready for that. And it's just such a great juxtaposition to go from crazy Florida men to, you know, I don't think he lives in Florida, but the men that he took his name, basically, and isn't treating it very well, to the guy who was the actor that earned that reputation. So here is, you can find this on our website, the link to the Gary Sinise Foundation, which helps, well, let's read it. We serve our nation by honoring our defenders, veterans, first responders, their families, and those in need. We do this by creating and supporting unique programs designed to entertain, educate, inspire, strengthen, and build communities. So a quote from Mr. Sinise himself: freedom and security are precious gifts that we as Americans should never take for granted. We must do all we can to extend our hand in times of need to those who willingly sacrifice each day to provide that freedom and security. While we can never do enough to show gratitude to our nation's defenders, we can always do a little more. I really, really like that.
So I think for, you know how around your birthday, Facebook says you can ask people to donate to a charity? I think that's going to be mine one this year.
You think so? I think that's a great idea.
I think I'm going to do that.
Folks, thank you so much for joining us today. And, you know, we like I said, we like to leave on a high note. So I was hoping that they had a picture of him, but they don't. So
well, that's him right there.
Well, that is him right there, yeah. I'd play the video, but I don't want to get in trouble. Well, I mean, you wouldn't be able to hear the sound anyway. But,
How many saw Forrest Gump?
he's talking about how many people saw Forrest Gump.
I played
And
Lieutenant Dan.
he's talking about how he played
I'm Gary
Lieutenant Dan.
Sinise,
And then,
and
of course,
while you
he
may
introduces his program and what they do, and they do a lot. So, folks, I hope you do more than barbecue tomorrow. I hope that on the day off that you get to spend with your veterans, as I will be doing myself, that you honor, love, and thank those who have given everything to our nation, our great, amazing nation that I feel so much more positive about right now. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a lot.
Congratulations again to Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. I look forward to their leadership.
Yeah, and J.D. Vance is a great patriot and service member as well. So I hope he and his family have an amazing Veterans Day, because he's not going to get any rest for the next 4 years.
None whatsoever.
All right, folks, we will see you next week.
Counterculture-wise is a Stormcat production.
Thank you for joining our growing family of listeners. All links from the show are available on our website, counterculturewise.com. Find our archives on any of your favorite podcast hosts.
We engage in satire, commentary, and generally laugh at the ridiculousness of our crumbling society. Our only medical or financial advice is to not follow any financial or medical advice given by podcasters.
Our animations, interviews, Holy Crap segment, and other videos are put out on BitChute and Rumble, and only in part on YouTube because they hate free speech.
Our show is entirely funded by listeners like you. Visit our ever-expanding merch store or our Subscribe Star, where you can get outtakes, extra videos, and sneak peeks.
If you would like to be a guest on our program, feel free to contact us via our website. Just click on the link at the top that says, "Be a guest on our show."
For more fun and cat pics, please visit our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. For complaints about our show, please fill out the ID10T form on our website, and we will give it the attention it deserves.
Meanwhile, no matter how cruel the world may be around you, always remember the importance of kindness. Be kind to each other, be kind to animals, and be kind to yourself. See you next week.